Hello and welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Convos. And today I'm gonna touch on the topic that I don't actually see a lot of people touching on YouTube, which is surprising because as a culture we are part of this culture that is happening around us right now. And the focus that I'm gonna ask is having an England flag the issue or the racist opinions behind it? Because there's a lot of people at the moment that are having they're putting up the England flags. Some people are getting arrested. I'm seeing people are getting taken away from pubs and stuff due to this. And it's quite shocking to see. But some of this I'm seeing is quite valid in why it's happening. Because even for me, as someone, I look at it as an Englishman who's born here, and I'm obviously got a Jamaican heritage. That's where I come from. Like my parents and grandparents, they're Jamaican, so I have a Jamaican heritage. But I am English in myself. So for me, I don't feel the urge to be waving an England flag for any necessary reason to prove any kind of pride to who I am because I'm prideful anyway as an Englishman. So I've kind of got some points here that are kind of confusing to me as to, and not even confusing, but probably even eye opening to why I don't actually wave the flag. But then even probably eye opening to the people that are waving the flag for the wrong reasons, or even for what they publicly feel is a show of solidarity to being English. Something I'm going to actually read because I've got a few things here that kind of shocked me, to be extremely honest. And one of them was I actually searched what is the reason that people are actually being told to remove their flags? What is the reason? And when I searched it on Google, the wording was to show uh, our English British pride. To show our. And when I thought about that, I thought, wow, to show our, but aren't you actually, how are you English? You're Google. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what it says. It says, why is everyone putting up England, UK flags? Many see them as symbolising our pride, passion, and identity. Others have said the flags feel provocative at a time when tensions are running high across England over immigration. I wonder if you can see that there. Zoom in. So that's what I saw when I'm thinking, why are people doing it? And then I've kind of looked at all the points that I've kind of found online, and from what I've heard people say on things like loose women, I've heard them chat and have their opinions. I've heard just now today, this morning, people were talking about this, and everyone's got their own opinion, even to us in our house. I have my opinion, my partner has her opinion, the little one has her own opinion as well, and all our opinions, we have similar values and thought plans, but they are still different in certain circumstances. So it gets to show that even in our actual household, as all English, we all have a different opinion on whether the flag should be shown. So I'm going to come and give my opinion as I don't see a lot of people coming and showing their opinion as black, English, Jamaican people. So I'm going to give my opinion. Does the England flag show pride in England by showing either the England or the United Kingdom flag? The answer is no, it does not. Because let's start with the England flag, which is St. George's flag, yeah? And when we look at who actually St. George is, I'm going to show you what Google tells us who St. George is, who is the patron saint of this English flag. St. George wasn't born in England. Let me repeat this. St. George was not born in England. So, waving an English flag to show English pride for a person's flag that isn't English is a bit confusing. Yeah. It is believed he was born in the late 3rd century in Cappadocia or Syria. Syria. One of the places I think they're trying to say they don't want the immigrants to come from, Syria. funnily enough. Meaning he's actually Turkish. It's also agreed by many that he was raised in Palestine. St. George, place of birth. Google it now. Do your Google searches. Use the AI. Who is St. George? So when we look at St. George flag and waving that for us being English, it makes no sense at all, does it really? Because that doesn't prove we're English, because the person whose flag it is was not English. So probably even for me, I would never actually wave an England flag. And I was saying this yesterday. If I went to a football game for England, would I wear an England shirt or wave a flag? And I said, unless I've got an England shirt with a Liverpool player on the back, because that's obviously I support England because I'm England. I'm English. I have to follow England. I always want England to win the World Cup in Europe, whether that's male or female footballers. Yeah, whether that's the Paralympics. I want them all to do well. English. Yeah, but I don't see myself as someone going to an England football game wanting to wave a flag and wear an England shirt unless it's got a Liverpool player on there. And my actual point was as well, when I said it as well yesterday, I revised this way. Sometimes I like, as I say, I like our conversations to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually said yesterday, what I actually said was, I would rather wave a flag than wear the England shirt. That's what I would rather. And I support England to the max. Yeah. And my reasoning behind why I said that would be is because the football players are playing for England and the fact that we are in the stands now, waving an England flag for the English football players playing football on the pitch, and the more England flags they see, the more support they will feel. So even me, I used to play football and I used to love when people were cheering me on. It made me play even better. So waving an England flag may bring us a World Cup, in my opinion. Whereas getting an England shirt, I wouldn't really want an England shirt. I'd have a Liverpool shirt all day long, with or without a name on. I've got many Liverpool shirts, with or without names on. But to have an England shirt, I don't think I'd ever go and buy an England shirt. And what I said to my partner was yesterday, as I said, I would only buy an England shirt with a Liverpool player on the back, because to be honest, I love Liverpool to have a lot of English players, and we always have a lot of good English players. And as a Liverpool supporter, I do feel that a lot of the England players are probably the better England players are Liverpool players. So I'd rather go with my Liverpool players and support them. But the main point is, for me, I wouldn't feel that need to, as an English person born here, I don't feel the need that waving my England flag makes me feel even more English than I actually am at all. That's me. Yeah. So I don't get it why some people feel the need to wave an England flag to show they are English, and the English flag is a Syrian. Yeah. It's a Syrian flag, basically. It represents Syria, a Syrian St. George, because that's what it's called, St. George. Yeah. So we went on to now the UK flag, and I started thinking about the UK flag. And the UK flag was created in 1801. I'm going to do a little passage on the UK flag. The UK flag, or the Union flag, has a dual origin. It was first created in 1606 by combining the flags of England and Scotland to represent their unified crowns under King James VI and First. The current design of the Union flag, which also includes the cross of St. Patrick for Ireland, was established in 1801. So the context of that is, following the union of the crowns in 1603, King James VI of Scotland became King James I of England and also of Ireland. So because the King of Scotland, King James VI of Scotland became King James I, because King James VI of Scotland then became a King of England, that's what made the United Kingdom actually united. And I said to my partner earlier, and I said to the little one earlier, with the United flag, I'd rather wave an England flag than a United flag. This was my opinion yesterday as well. And the reasoning behind that is, and this is all, as I say, my understanding to what I see as an English person born here, a black English person with Jamaican heritage, yeah, that the United flag is it's not English because I'm English and the English flag is English in my first presumptions before. And I'm going to leave a funny fact here. I didn't actually know that King George was not English. It was the little one that told us this. And then I actually went and Googled this and found this out. So it's a bit confusing that we as adults don't actually know this. Did you? Because I didn't until the little one told us. So when I actually thought about the United Kingdom flag, I honestly just compared it to the Commonwealth and the fact that as the United Kingdom, I look at English as I'm an English person. I look at the English. United means we are as one, so we become as one and we agree in the same terms as we do. And when I think of the word kingdom, the kingdom is the whole kingdom, isn't it, to me? So to be a United Kingdom, but to be the one of the smallest islands in the world, but to be calling ourselves United Kingdom, I don't feel that's right because to me the kingdom is Africa. To me, to me, and that's the reason I call that the original kingdom because there's so many beauties over there that even now we can't understand. Everything in England is like man-made. We can understand it. Someone made it or we brought it here. We understand that slaves were here. We understand that certain things happened due to this person going to here and finding coffee or Christopher Columbus, for example, or whatever these reasons were. Yeah. So we understand that a lot of things were brought back to England, brought back to Europe from far afield. So those are the original kingdoms. Of course, we are part of the kingdom, but the kingdom starts somewhere. And it doesn't start with us, but we're united as us. I ain't united like that. I've got Irish blood, I've got Scottish in my blood. Yeah. So for me, I just feel English and I understand I'm English, they're Scottish, they're Irish, they're Welsh. And yeah, I'm very friendly with whoever I want to be. But if I was to go to Wales, and I've been to Wales, so I understand this, I will say I've felt more racism in Wales than I actually felt in Liverpool, where people will think Liverpool's very racist. I felt more racism in Wales than I have felt in Liverpool. And the reason I probably felt that in more in Wales is because Liverpool is actually part of England where Wales isn't. So to support a United Kingdom flag where in my own country I don't feel recognised, but I know I'm English, so I am recognised. I shouldn't feel the need to wave the flag. So when I understood that it's just recent those flags have come in and it was all down to the kings, king of Scotland becoming now the king of England, it's like, wow, the United Kingdom isn't even our flag, it's a Scottish flag. Really? Because it's the Scottish king originally that became the English king. And although he was James the Sixth, King James the Sixth of Scotland, he now is the first King James of England. So, wanting to show national pride and waving the flag is just doesn't make no sense because neither of these flags are representing us as English people. Yeah. Because we're doing it in England. I'm not seeing this in Scotland. I'm not seeing this in Wales. We're not hearing about this in Ireland. We're seeing this all in England. Yeah. So we understand why it's the English flag waved a lot more than the United Kingdom flag, even. Yeah. There's concerns that a lot of people are having. Sorry about my throat. I do feel like I've got a little bit of a cold coming on, but yeah. So yeah, the second point that a lot of people are upset with is we know it's all really around surrounding immigration. And then when we actually look at immigration as English, I'm looking from an Englishman's point of view, yeah. I'm 37, so I've lived a lot of life. I'm not 23, 21, following elders. I have grown to a point where I am old enough to have my own opinion and look at life from my own life and just take a proper understanding of it for myself without just being misled from what I'm being read or told. So, points of immigration, why people will want to show the flag. So let's get to it. There's a high percentage of people sharing this flag because of pride. Yeah. Then there's a percentage of people that are sharing this flag not because of pride, but because they want to show solidarity and they don't want the immigrants coming over. Remember, St. George, the England flag, was an immigrant really because he's from Syria. Remember this. Yeah. So they're taking our jobs. Now, me as an Englishman, yes, I ran my business, but as I've said, over the last year and a half, my focus nearly 2 years, I'd say, my focus hasn't been on overly going crazy with my business as I did start out in. It was been mainly focused on trying to get a job, to be extremely honest, that can obviously fund and make me now turn the business to the level I need to try and bring it to. So that was the aim of me trying to get a job for the last 2 years. And I found, you know what, I'm going to a lot of English employers. Yeah, a lot of English employers. And I'm explaining who I am. I'm an Englishman. Explain where I come from. Explain my change of life. Explain I've got a family to look after. Explain that I'm willing to do a lot of things and what I can do and what I would bring to any opportunity, whether it's me being a mentor, whether that's me being passenger transport for disability kids, whether that's me working as a cleaner, whether that's me packing, whether that's me in a warehouse. I'm showing you the variety of jobs that I've tried to go for, just to give you an example of the variety of people that I've gone to with this same kind of energy of, oh, I'm English, I'm born here, got my passport, yes, boom, bam, I could do the job. Obviously, I've applied. You've seen my CV. You're obviously interested. But these English people ain't giving me the job. So, who are we trying to give the jobs to then anyway as an English person? So, the English people that are saying we don't want the foreigners coming here, who are you actually giving those jobs to anyway? Because it's a lot of English people who are doing the enrollments for these roles. Because as an Englishman, you can't even give me an English job. And I'm not blaming that on the foreigners as an Englishman. I'm blaming that on the English people that are trying to be judgmental of whether they want to give this black man a job, whether he's English or not. So in fact, a lot of us English people don't have jobs because of English people not giving the English their jobs. It's not the foreigners' fault. Because there's a lot of jobs the foreigners do that us as English can't do. I am not trained to be an old doctor and surgeon. So some of these foreigners that come in and take care of our mothers and our parents and my nans and my younger generation of variety of nieces, nephews, friends, kids, all types of people, friends even. A lot of these were foreigners. Some of these were probably immigrants as well. Just like 70% of Jamaicans were immigrants bloody 30 years ago. Wow. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we're Jamaicans. We had a big carnival yesterday. You were celebrating with us as Jamaicans as... You know what I'm trying to say? And a lot of them were immigrants. What about those? Because we're immigrants then in that case. How far do we go back to immigrants? Are we sending back the Queen? R.I.P. But you know what I'm trying to say? Sending back the king because he's got bloody Russian or whatever he's got in him. Who are we sending back? Because it's not the foreigners' faults why we don't have jobs, because it's a lot of English people who have the opportunity to give people jobs. So don't judge people on jobs that we can't actually do because we can't do them. We need their help, just like we needed the Jamaicans' help to build up the country, just like we needed the Indians' help to build up the country, just like we're using the Polish now to build up the country. That's part and parcel of England. That's what makes us United Kingdom, because we come united to become one and grow as one. But just like even running a business, you realise in England, a lot of people don't want to come as one. A lot of people will rather fight the same people that are English and then talk about, oh, we don't support the government supporting the English, not supporting us as English people. Who do you support as an English person? Who do you support? I said this previously. Do you go and buy your bloody milk and things from an Indian man or a Pakistani man, a black man or an Indian off license? Do you see white people that are working in there and think that they own that all the time? That could be a Chinese man's job, business, and they're just working there. They're just the face of the company. So who do you support? Because if we're talking about they're taking our jobs, then give the English people that are looking for jobs the jobs. And if we can't do the jobs, then do what you give it to the people that can do the jobs, because when we need them, we are crying for them. Yeah. Another point I was seeing, houses are being taken. They're going in houses and hotels, and there's a lot of army veterans living on the street. So I'm going to give you a little story now. I live in an area called Trowbridge in Wiltshire, yeah? And I was wandering around one day with my partner, and because we live in like the countryside, I was kind of like, to be honest, I didn't expect to see anyone on the streets around here, to be extremely honest. And there was somebody on the streets. There still is a couple of people randomly on the streets, yeah. But walked past him. I thought, let's have a little chat with him. Like, how come? Like, why are you on the streets in this small town? I'm a bit confused. Like in the city, I can understand. There's not a lot. There's a lot of people. A lot of people having kids. There's a lot of people coming there for work. A lot of people coming for studies, like college, universities from different places. So a lot of properties can go, and some people may not be able to get jobs. So I spoke to this person and found out he used to be in the army. Funnily enough. And he's like, oh, yeah, they won't give me jobs. They won't give me a place to live. I've tried. So I had this honest conversation with him, and he was explaining to me how he's tried to get places. He's tried to sign on, but because he hasn't got certain ID, he can't sign on, this and that. Yes, we understand he was an army veteran. Yes, we understand he may go through PTSD, but he has to take also some responsibility, and he has to try himself. That's something I have to say to him about that. But then I also have to look at the point to the fact is he's tried to go to these places and they haven't given him the help to go and get these things. Like if you see someone coming from the street and you work in the job centre and they're saying they need to sign on to go and get a place to live, and they were previously in the army and they've got no forms of ID because all their possessions have gone, then isn't it on you to help them find out what council house or where they can get their birth certificate from and go from there? Is it not on you to help these people like physically now because they've come to you? Why is he sent away and then with his less confidence having to find a way without finding a way? Why wasn't he given any help when he went to these circumstances? Then it was quite funny. It weren't very much long after I was actually like in a masjid by us, and one of the masjids actually had to close. So when they actually had to close, I actually went and helped the masjid move all the things from one place to another for storage. When I got there, I was speaking to a lady, and I was speaking to the lady who was looking after the warehouse and things, and she actually had an hotel. Funny enough, she actually owned an hotel, yeah. And she was saying like, oh, she wants to put people in houses and loads of things she wants to do. And I'm saying, yeah, but there's a man round there actually just opened up and says, oh, have you not got a place and spoken to the man round there? He used to be in the army and he just sleeps by the Sainsbury's randomly, and he was asking for money and that, and like he needs that kind of help. And I was told that she's spoken to him, and I've tried to help everybody round here and they don't want help. But you've got a big place, a big hotel now, with a load of space. What is stopping you from giving this person one room in there? What is stopping you? Like, if you ain't renting out, if you all these rooms have you got a load of vacancies, Why is this person sleeping on the street and you've got an hotel there that he could stay in? Why? And then these will be the same people that are saying the immigrants are coming to fill up the hotels and fill up our places. But you've got the hotel now, you can give them the space. You've got a place and you've got about 10 houses, 5 houses, 3 houses. Do you need all those houses? Why are you not putting up these people that you are thinking are on the streets because of these immigrants? Because I think these immigrants have got spaces because you are taking the more money to hold them than you would get from holding an English person. So is it a business decision? Because I don't see how they're taking our properties. Our properties are taken because there's not enough properties and there's a lot of buildings being built to take money. Like, how many shops do we see in an amount of towns, cities, villages that are closed? Why are they closed? Why are they boarded up? Why are they being closed for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years? Why don't you put them into flats? You will have the property, you have shops, and you could have properties above. Why is the whole flat and the property not a flat, a house? There's more properties for people. So it's not the foreigners taking the space. It's actually us as English not giving the English people the spaces when we've got them. Taking big properties that we don't need and not living in them. Yeah. Not living in them. Yeah. And having amount of buildings and shops that are closed that we own, that we're able to rent or convert to whatever we want to, but we don't. Because those are more the issues that I think as an Englishman growing in England, having to look for properties before as a single man and having to look for properties with my partner. I understand the struggles, whatever you want to do. Private, buying, renting, council, housing association. There's struggles either way for me as an Englishman. And it's not down to the foreigners because I'm coming to English people. I'm asking English people for these jobs, these homes. Not asking foreigners, am I? Not asking the immigrants. So who's the problem? Is it the immigrants' fault that they've got a war-torn country over there? Are we gonna blame the English people that actually realise England's just a dump, really? And they want to leave and they go from England and they never come back? Are we gonna blame them? And you can hear my nose getting a bit. Go on, baby.
I think a big part of the problem, well, not a big part, probably the main part, because they control everything, is the government.
No, definitely.
Because yes, you might have loads of immigrants coming over. There's some coming over in the right way, legally how they're supposed to.
Yes.
There are others, and I think we have to remember as well. Yes, there are others coming over on boats. They're not all of them are going to be bad. There's probably some in those countries who can't get those things or do not have the little bits of money or anything to even get them through that legal process to get out. They're panicking, they're coming over. Yes, they're probably mixed up with a few not so good people. In every country there's good and bad.
That's the thing.
So
we ain't all good.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's fair to pick on all illegal immigrants. We all need help in one way or another. For the illegal ones, yes, I do think the government are not doing their job properly. They're not controlling that situation properly. People are coming in the floods. We've got people who are coming in attacking people here, which is not okay.
And this is where I say, do you see the different kind of points of views? She's very much sounding like she's with them, where I'm against the people marching.
With who marching?
Like,
what do you mean?
Because the way you say it, like, oh, the government, it's like, I understand, you're very right. I'm not disagreeing with, you know what? Too many people come into this country and we don't know who they are. And if I can't just leave the country when I want to, how can they just come into my country? That's me as an Englishman. Why can't I just leave the country without a passport? Why can't I just go here and come back when I want. Right? You know what I'm trying to say? And so I get that point, but then it's like, that's their point, and that's why they're saying they're waving flags and marching. That's their point. And I'm saying all of that marching, all of that is not doing nothing to the government or anybody, because a lot of us actually marching actually are in the roles and positions to make changes ourselves. So the government does not. If you've brought a property, you've brought your property, you pay your whatever you've got to pay, your tax, insurances and things for your property, yeah? That's it. That's your property. You can put whoever you want in that property. It's not up to the government to tell you who to put in there. The people that own the hotels aren't government hotels. These are people that own the hotels that have decided that they will take people on.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying.
So
at that point, those people have already come in and been allowed to come in through the water and flood. So at the end of the day, the government needs to put things in place, and it's not to say anything against immigrants.
Look, listen to you.
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish.
No, but you're listening. It's the
they
point
need
of what
the
I'm.
help and
No,
support.
stop.
No, because you're not
Because
letting me finish.
you're not listening. You're not
I
listening.
didn't even get to finish.
What did I just say? You're sounding like them because you're being like that yourself now. You're thinking whether you're out there marching or waving your flag or not, you have that energy of, you know what, the government needs to change, this and that. But you're forgetting, yes, the government's letting them in, but it's still people working there that can stop them. Instead of marching to the government, why don't people march to the barriers and stop them if you've got so much time to stand up outside there? And it's not to say people shouldn't protest and show your feelings, but waving a flag and having your flag just put up all over the place just to say that's your protest, that ain't a protest.
I don't believe that people should be protesting to keep immigrants out in that way. I don't believe in that.
No, but remember the point.
In their protest.
The point is, why are they waving the flag? Because of immigrants. Because of the immigrants, they say. The immigrants that are legal and the immigrants that are illegal. But how many illegal immigrants did this country grow off anyway? How many of these illegal immigrants that come over, did they end up getting good jobs that we can't fulfill? Because some of these illegal immigrants are not the paedophiles and the rapists and the abusers that a lot of people are trying to put the notion to.
I know this because I said that.
No, but it's overstanding. You see your over exaggeration and your energy for, it's the government, and that's the problem there with the people. They're thinking it's the government, when in fact the people that live here, we have the control. And marching and waving a flag that doesn't represent us as English, because it's a St. George flag, a Syrian person's flag, makes no sense.
Yes, I agree.
Do you get that?
That's down to education. Then you're bringing education in there because they have no knowledge of that. The education
is also in how we think, because it's, yes, the government. Yes, we understand they bring more than they need, but what do they bring them here for? These are the points I'm trying to get at. If they are running, this is the point. If they are immigrants and they're coming either legally or legally, they're coming for a reason. They're not coming here specifically to come and commit crime. They're coming to get away from the life over there. That's their initial instinct. So us as a government, are we to turn them away and we are supposed to be the United Kingdom who actually are part of a commonwealth?
No.
Do you get that?
Yeah, but I've
never
said they should be.
The vetting of them is where the problem should be.
But you didn't even let me get to that.
No,
that's
but
my point. You don't let me get. Yeah, but
it's
wait.
The over exaggeration on the point.
Do you know what? Though?
Do you want to go on camera and show you? Do you want to go on camera and show yourself? Do you want to be on camera?
What's that for?
My point is, do you want to be on camera? So understand, when you're talking, this is me on here. So your narrative of what you're pursuing, I'm not with that narrative of, I'm gonna start blaming them
I
because
didn't say you should be.
I'm trying to give my message of what I'm trying to give. So
Yeah.
when you're getting over exaggerated with what your point is you're trying to make, I'm going to have to cut you down, Erica, because that's not what my channel is
But
for.
I
And I'm not
wasn't.
trying to give that point of energy of
I
that. Do you?
wasn't trying to get over exaggerative.
No, but do you understand? It's understanding where I'm coming from. It's pointing out that there a lot of people are coming about immigrants and we're forgetting these immigrants are also us. These immigrants are coming over and helping people are also us. So if my people are trying to get away from Jamaica now because there's some war over there, they're going to talk about they're not going to let the Jamaicans in and they've got family here.
I understand that. That is not what I was saying. I totally agree. The whole thing is with the vetting of people, and they need to look at who these each people are. I understand that. I didn't get to that point yet.
But the point is,
I didn't
we're
even
not
get
trying
to
to
that.
talk about why they're what people are thinking. Oh, the government is all causing the problem because they're letting them in. The government's letting in the people that are running from safety, running from the worst conditions, and they're vetted. These are the ones they're allowing. They're vetted. They're vetted for a reason because they've got family, they've got kids, and where they are staying, it's either uninhabitable or there's war going on or there's something going on that they have to escape from. And to bring them here to safety to a point whether they can help us as healthcare or whatever they want to do as jobs, or to keep them here in safety until we can send them back. That's
I totally agree
yeah.
with that,
So
though,
that's
and
the
I did
aim
not
of.
at any point say anything against that.
No, that's us. This is where I say, are we jumping on bandwagons or do we have common sense ourselves? Because the common sense is most of these people coming who are immigrants legally, they have been vetted for a reason. And yes, there's going to be bad eggs in all types of bunches. There's going to be people that commit crimes. There's English people born here who have never left the country who commit some vile crimes, and we're not sending them out the bloody country. So immigrants that are coming here, and there's a load of them, and there's a small percentage of ones that are doing the same crimes of English people we're not sending away. Why are we not thinking, oh, that small percentage of Englishmen that do that, whether they're black, white, Asian, and they're born England, and they're committing vile crimes, and we're not sending them away. We're allowing them to change names. We're allowing them to move to different areas and have different lives. We're giving them shorter sentences in jail than someone doing other crimes that aren't as vile as what they're doing. We're not casting everybody with the same stick there. So to cast every immigrant with the same stick as they're coming over here for the wrong thing is where we're going wrong in the first instinct. Because as I say, the ones that are vetted, they're vetted for a reason, and they are even, as English government, we're looking at what they can do before we don't know. The people that are knowing, they know what the skills that they're bringing in already to the country. So they're not trying to bring anyone in because we're English people. We want the best people here to bloody do our jobs. And the immigrants that are running obviously have no other option. And just like in England, and you go to the ghettos and they're forgotten about, those people that are coming over the ships are the people from the ghettos that they don't care about, that still need saving. And they ain't coming here to commit crime on the higher percentage of them. They're coming here to get away from the crime.
I understand.
Yeah.
Because I said that.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I said that, though.
No, but do you get that? And then even when it comes to even the thought plan of, oh, where was I going? That put me off. Offences committed and all of these things, yeah. If we're talking about immigrants and people are mostly focused on Syria and all these other places, yeah, that are coloured and darker skinned, why are people not thinking this for the Polish people that are immigrants in the country now? How many Polish people are immigrants working in your jobs now? How many, like, what are they bringing that is different to the immigrants that aren't Polish? So understanding, being focused on, oh, the immigrants are coming over and they're committing crimes, they're taking our jobs, they're taking our homes, is the small percentage of people that actually are doing that. It's only a small percentage. Actually, a higher percentage of them are here for their own safety. A high percentage of them are here to fulfill jobs that we don't want to do or can't do. A load of these foreigners are going into places that we're not paying for. So are we paying for a room? Is every hotel booked every day? And if we want hotels to be able to stay still, having someone staying in there and looking after them because they're there is what a good person would do. The same way I'm saying the English people that own properties that have no one living in there want to charge extortionate rent anyway. So that's why they're not got people living in there. The people that have got places that they own, that they aren't renting to anybody and they ain't converting to anything. Those are the big issues with the country. It's not the people coming over, because the ones that are vetted, they're going to find space for them already. And if they've got a job that they're going to give them, they've got a job they're going to give them. A load of our kids are in school now with immigrants. And I bet you they say they're some of the most polite children. Some of your kids will play with immigrants. Are you going to say, oh, send all the immigrants back? And now your kid has lost a good friend. Because we're talking about all what we want as English pride. As English pride, as a black man, I'd like to see multicultural. I like it because that's what England is now. It's multicultural. And it's supposed to be united. But I don't see much unity unless the unity is to spur racism. Because as I say, the flags are being shown. Yes, they want to talk about real points, yeah? Real honest points, yeah? I understand there's jobs being taken by some of them, but not all the jobs are being taken by them. A lot of those jobs that are being taken or not offered to the English people are down to English people's decisions. So it's not the immigrants' fault. It's actually the greedy people who want to give them lower wages. It's actually for the greedier people who think they work harder than us English. That's down to us then as English. We should be working harder then to prove to them that we're hard workers. There's a lot of judgment in, oh, there are too many of them coming over and we don't even know when they're coming on the boats and all that. They're running. Where's our compassion? They're running. And they're taking the most dangerous routes to get to somewhere safe. And you said something earlier. Why do they come to England? Why don't they go to countries that they pass? Why are they? I don't know why they come to England, other than I think England has free healthcare. We give benefits to people, and yeah, we give jobs to people.
Yeah, but that's not me, because the way you've just said it there, it just sounds horrible, and that's not how I said it. For starters, I said it in the sense of there are a lot of countries along the way that they could get out of theirs quicker and get into quickly that can help them as well.
Yes.
It's that thing of if
but where is the countries that will help them? Here, where is the country that will help them?
What do you mean? Where are the countries?
Who will help them?
France is willing to help them. There are countries that are
do
willing
these
to
like
help
give
them
healthcare? If we go to France now, yeah, or all these places, do we have to pay for healthcare?
I don't know how
we have to pay for healthcare. The point is, we understand the NHS, something that we is our pride and thing, yeah. It's our pride, yeah. The NHS is free. So not only are we getting free healthcare, we have to look at the benefits of England. And as English people, if we're living from these benefits, why should we say, oh, just because you're not from here, you shouldn't get those benefits? Because that seems like the culture for the ones that are born here anyway. That's like, I could say that's for me. I'm an Englishman, and there's a lot of white English people out there that say I don't deserve any benefits. I don't deserve to work. I don't deserve a place to live. I don't deserve this and that and this and that. But I'm English. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So understand the positives of England. Free NHS. There is a load of properties that are open and available because we're greedy and we don't want to give them to the people. And we're greedy to know that the government will give us more money for immigrants, so we'll take immigrants in our hotels. Because you know what? The English ain't even trying to pay us this money. And I think I'm going to come back again soon because my throat's feeling a bit ill. And I think I'd need the toilet as well, to be extremely honest. And my throat does seem bad. But I like people to get in the comments. Let me know what you feel, and we'll come back to it. Still, we'll come back to it because I've got some posts here that from the searches that I would like to share as well. So yeah, thank you for joining us, J Cartier Limited Convos. Have a good